webinar. This is a weekly event we do every Friday at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, where we go over various topics of the Fast Track software. You can see a list of all these events if you go to our website, goftx.com, choose the FTx Lifeline tab at the top of the page, scroll down a bit and choose the Webinars button. This page will give you a list of all of our webinars that you can register for, all of the webinars that you can view the recordings for, our previous webinars, as well as a newsletter sign up for upcoming news from Fast Track as well as upcoming webinars. Today we're going to be going over system discounts. There's been quite a few changes since the last time we've done this, so let's dive right in. So to get to system discounts, we will go to the Pricebook module and then the System Discounts tab. And looking at this, we're going to dive right in and look at each of these discount types and the various options. So when you're looking at a discount, we're first going to look at some of the checkboxes and options. The first thing is going to be, of course, the discount name. And that's just, what do you want to title your discount? How do you want it to show up on reports? Then there's going to be the discount type. That's going to be, how do you want your system discount to function? What do you want to discount? In what way? There's 5 different types: the dollar amount off each item, percent off each item, buy X, get Y free, X items for Y dollars, and buy X, get Y % off. We're going to go over each of these here momentarily. The next is a filter type. This is a setting that is newer since our last webinar on the system discounts. By default, it's going to be assigned the items filter type, meaning whenever you build your system discount, you have to go in and actually assign items to that discount. So if items are not manually assigned to this discount, then they're not going to be discounted in any way at the register. There's filters you can do. For example, if I chose the all items, what that would do is that would basically place every item in my price book, including items that are created in the future in this discount, and they would then follow the rules of this discount. Then there's options to do like departments, so you can assign departments to that discount, major categories, manufacturers, and your other tree, how your tree is set up on your items. The benefit of doing it via these categorizations is that if you add a brand new item to that category, it's automatically going to be added to that discount. Whereas if you're doing it by items, of course, if you add a new item in that category, you have to manually assign that item to that discount. The next option is going to be an account number. If you want to assign your system discount a specific account number for like an accounting export, here's where you'd place that accounting number, as well as the description to go along with that accounting number. You then have your start date and stop date. So basically, whenever this discount is active, between these two dates, that's when it's going to fire and discount the items. Your receipt text, that's going to be what the receipt says if a customer triggers and receives that discount. Then the next area is going to be kind of dependent on the discount type. For example, you can see here I have, for this dollar amount off each item, I have it set to buy 2, get a dollar amount off each item. Whereas if I have a different discount type, such as the X items for Y dollars, that may change a bit. So in this case, I have it set for buy 5 for $5. There is the use trigger list checkbox. What that would do is that means that in order for this discount to trigger on an item, you have to buy an item first to trigger the discount itself. So think of that as an item that has to be purchased first, a triggered item, in order for the sell item to actually receive the discount. There's the inventory clearance option. What this does is if there's an item, basically items in this discount would keep an eye on your on hand, and whenever the on hand reaches 0, it's going to remove that item from the discount, effectively clearancing it out. The or more option, this is kind of dependent on the discount type that you have selected, because notice on the buy X get Y free, there's not that or more. What this would do is it kind of works with the dollar amount off and the percent off best. It ties basically groups of items together if it's unchecked. So in this case, in order for this buy 2, get 50 cents off each item, with it checked, that means if I buy 2, I'm going to get 50 cents off each item. If I buy a third, I get another 50 cents off. Fourth, another 50 cents. Fifth, another 50 cents, so on and so forth. Whereas if this was unchecked, I have to buy it in sets of 2. So if I bought 2, I'm going to get 50 cents off each item. If I bought a third one, nothing happens on that third item. But if I bought a fourth, then it's going to trigger that 50 cents off the third item and the fourth item. So with this unchecked, think of it as sets of the items. You next have the item limit per sale. That's going to be how many times can this discount trigger? So how many times can it actually discount items? So for example, if I had this set for 4 here, that means that I can buy this, and I have this set for 1 more. I can buy this as many times as I want in a single transaction. However, that discount, this 50 cents off, is only going to be applied a max of 4 times. So if I truly wanted to receive discounted items on every one that I purchased, I'd really have to split this transaction up into multiple transactions. Simply because once that 4th time that discount fires, it's not going to fire again. You then have your loyalty only checkbox. Basically, if a loyalty customer is not tied to the transaction, the discount will not trigger. As soon as the loyalty discount account is tied to the transaction, if you meet the discount criteria, then of course you will receive the discount. And then tied to that loyalty setting is a daily limit and total limit. A daily limit is going to be how many times can that particular loyalty customer receive this discount in 1 day. So if you have that set for 2, that customer can receive that discount a total of 2 times in 1 day, but no more than that. Then you have the total limit, and that's going to be how many times can this discount trigger per customer in between the start and stop date. So how many total times can they actually receive this discount? You then have the option to flag as a manufacturer funded discounted and scan data and apply tax. And apply tax, that's going to either, depending on how you have it checked, it's either going to apply tax on the pre-discounted amount or the post-discounted amount. We'll go over that here momentarily. And then finally, there's the use schedule. And what this does is it will allow you to have the discount fire transactions in specific time ranges and specific days. So for example, in this happy hour beer that I have, if I check to use schedule and I choose my manage schedule, I can set specific days and times for this to fire. So I could say in the happy hour, I could want it to trigger Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday between 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. And I could just go through and update this. And then for those 4 days of the week, for that 3-hour time period per day, this discount will fire for the items that I have in there. Whereas outside of that time period, even though it falls within the start and stop date, it doesn't. And then finally, we have the priority list, which we're going to go over here in a bit as well. So let's dive right into each type. So the dollar amount off each item. I've got this set up on an item, and basically if I have it set for buy 2 or more, you get 50 cents off each item. So if we look at how that functions in the point of sale, we'll see how the discount actually looks on a transaction. So I've got my item here. I'm going to do it 1 time. Of course, there's no discount. I'll do it a 2nd time. And then notice there's the discount, a dollar amount off each item. So that immediately fires that discount as soon as I add that 2nd one. Now, I've got the or more checked on this as well. So that would mean that each one I add is going to add 50 cents off after that 2nd one on the transaction. So if I add that 1st one and the 2nd one, I'll subtotal my discounts applied. I will add the 3rd one, and then immediately notice it went up another 50 cents. So on and so forth. Every one that I add is going to add 50 cents off. So obviously I had that item tied to that discount. How do we tie items to discounts? It's very simple. Of course, if you're using a filter type, you don't have to worry about doing anything. Items are automatically tied if you're using any filter other than the items filter. However, if you're using the items filter, you have to tie your items to discounts on the item details page or mass updates. So for example, if I go to an item here, that one we just rang up, notice it's tied to that discount. I can simply choose that Manage Discounts button, and I can see that it's tied to that discount. I can add it down here to other discounts, and I can also remove it from a discount. Also, I have the trigger in discounts. If I wanted to add this as a trigger item, meaning an item that has to be purchased first in order for the discount to then be eligible to fire, then I'd have the option to add that down here as well. In mass updates, you can add items to discounts via the Utilities tab. So we'll open mass updates up. And let's say that I wanted to add that item to a discount. I can simply filter to it. So I'm going to choose that item and filter based on my selection. I will choose the Utilities tab, and then I can add to my discount here. So of course I can add by mass here. I don't have to filter to just one item. And you can filter to, or you can add via mass updates to your system discount itself as the discount item or as the trigger item, either or. All right, so let's also take a look at how the taxes work if we apply tax, if we don't apply tax. So right now I've got that set to not apply tax. If we go to the point of sale and we look at my tax rates, notice it's going to be a total of 10% tax that's being applied. So I'm going to add that item to a transaction. There's both of them. The discount has not triggered because it doesn't trigger until I hit the subtotal button. I've got $10 as my subtotal, my pre-taxed amount. Whenever I subtotal this, it takes $1 off and then it applies tax. So I'm being taxed really on $9. 10% times $9 is of course 90 cents. So my balance due is $9.90. Now, if I check this to apply tax, let's do the same transaction and notice the difference. My subtotal is $10, just like last time. I will subtotal that out. My tax is first applied, so 10% times the $10, that gives me about $1 tax. Then the discount's taken off. So it's basically applying tax before the discount is applied. So with that checkbox, you can have that be handled both ways. Before basically taxing the pre-discounted amount or post-discounted amount. I'm going to uncheck that. Now let's look at that or more. Right now I've got it set for or more. So every additional item I purchase after 2 is going to fire that discount. So let's cancel this transaction. I'm going to add the item. My discount triggered, so I've got $1 off. I'll add it one more time. $1.50, $2, so on and so forth. It's going to keep adding that 50 cents off because I have that or more checked. Now, if we uncheck that and save that, we want to do the same transaction. My discount's there. I'll add another one. Same discount amount. It did not discount that third item, but as soon as I add that fourth item, that discount fires on the third and the fourth item. So remember, it's going to be in sets at this point. All right, so that covers the dollar amount off each item. Let's look at how the percent off each item works. Notice I've got it set for buy 2, get 25% off each item. I've got to change that discount type 2% off. All right, so let's do that item. And I'll subtotal that out. And then there we go, there's our discount. Let's look at the buy X, get Y free. So I've got this set up for buy 2, get 1 free. I'll view my affected item. It's item number 22. So I'm going to do that item. I've got 2 on the transaction. I'll subtotal that out. No discounts applied, but as soon as I add that third one, there's my discount. All right, so let's look at that next discount type, the X items for Y dollars. I've got this set up for 5 items for $5. We're going to view that affected item. That's item number 23. So I'm going to add that to a transaction. I've got 4 on here now. I'll subtotal. Nothing is discounted. I'll add that 5th one in place, and then there's my discount. We're now going to look at that buy X, get Y% off. And we're going to look at that affected item. That's item number 24. I've got that set for buy 2, get 1 for 50% off. Let me get that item number one more time. That was item number 24. We'll go to our subtotal screen, and we'll add that third one in place. And then there's our discount. So we bought 2, we got that 50% off that third one. All right, so that's going to be the 5 discount types. Now let's look at the loyalty only discount. I've got an item here, item number 25, and I've got in this discount where it's a loyalty only discount. So we're going to ring this up without a loyalty customer tied to the transaction and then with a loyalty customer tied to the transaction. Notice I've got it set for buy 2, get $1 off each item. That is our item number 25. So 25, I'm going to buy 2 of those. No discount. As soon as I add a loyalty customer to the transaction, subtotal that out, our discount is then given to the customer. All right, let's look at how a triggered discount works. I've got it set for another % off each item, or % off each item. I've got it set for if you buy 1, you're going to get 100% off that item. But I have a triggered item first. So when you view the affected items, that's going to show you the item that's going to be discounted. If you view the triggered item, that's the item that has to be purchased first. So that means in order to receive this discount, I have to purchase item number 25 and 26 on the transaction. So if I ring up just item number 26 by itself in subtotal, nothing happens. But as soon as I ring up that item number 25, the discount then occurs. All right, now look at the priority list. Now, there's rules on system discounts to where you can only have one item, basically an item can only have one discount fire at a time. That's a non-loyalty discount. So if I'm funding a discount and I have an item tied to 2 different discounts, basically it's going to utilize a priority list and discount the item based on what priority is the highest priority. So for example, if we look at view affected items here, I've got item number 27 in both of these discounts. Now, one is going to be a buy 10 or more, get 50 cents off each item. The other is going to be buy 2 or more, get 25 cents off each item. Now, based on that rule I just said, I can only have one discount applied to an item in a transaction. What's going to happen? Well, if I bought between 2 and 9, then this discount is going to trigger the discount titled priority number 2. So I'm going to get 25 cents off each item. But as soon as I buy that 10th item, it's going to skip this discount and then apply the higher priority discount. So priority number 1, and then give double the discount effectively, 50 cents off each item. So let's take a look at how that works in the POS. That's going to be item number 27. So I'm ringing this up, item 27. I'm going to go to the subtotal screen just so we can see the discounts applied in real time. There's our 50 cents off. There's our fourth one, our fifth one, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. Now, whenever I apply this next item to the transaction, it's going to skip this priority number 2 discount and then apply priority number 1 discount. Notice the discount name changed and the discount went drastically up because it's applying that single priority higher discount. So that's how the priority system works in discounts. Now, kind of like we discussed in our buy downs webinar, discounts you don't really want to delete. You want to leave those in the system and build new discounts as you change those values, simply for reporting purposes. That's why the delete button here is actually going to be an archive button. It will archive your system discounts. So if I have an item, say I'm having this discount here, for example, and at the beginning of the year, I want to change that value. Instead of 50 cents off each item, I want it to be 45 cents off each item. I don't want to just change this discount to 45 cents and then extend the date out. It would work, but it would look very strange on your reporting for historical reporting. What you would want to do is copy this discount. That will copy the discount and the items within it. And then you will archive the old one whenever the new year starts. Of course, you'd have that new discount, the copied one, have the updated discount amount and the updated date range. That way, you can report on both discounts separately, and the header of that report is always going to have the correct discount amount. For example, if you change this to 45 cents, then if you looked at the reports from the previous year, it would be for 50 cents. Basically, your discount amounts would be for 50 cents, even though the report would say 45 cents, because the report is going off of what the discount currently says, not what it said historically. Now, to view the reports, you simply go to the Reports module and go to your sales reports. Scroll down the scroll bar here, and there's the system discount reports. And of course, you can view those for a single store, all stores. You can filter to all discounts or individual discounts. You can group it by customer, group it by store, show the items the transactions that made up that discount, the details by the customer, so the items purchased by the customers, and then just the flat out item details. So there's a variety of reports to run for system discounts. As I always say, it never hurts to run a report, so run those to your heart's content and find the ones that you like. Now, system discounts is a fantastic way to utilize uplifts. Uplifts, of course, is our module that will help both the cashiers and customers be notified of discounts, promotions, campaigns, anything you wish to use it for. It's a fantastic notification tool. So if we go to my uplifts tab here, and we're going to look at this promotion I have going for the free Bic lighter. If we look at this, we can see basically that I have, in between this date range, I have a cashier message that's going to tell my cashier what to say. And I've got an item that's going to trigger a notification. So this Winston pack is going to trigger a notification for both the cashier to say this line and for the customer to see on the customer-facing display that there's a promotion that they're not taking advantage of if they purchase this trigger item and this sell item. So I've got this effectively advertising a system discount, my free Bic lighter discount. So if we go to my system discounts here and I look at my free lighter with 2 packs, let me adjust the date on that. We can see that basically I've got a discount set up for if you buy one of this item, that Bic lighter, you're going to get it for free, 100% off, if you purchase 2. Just got to choose the trigger item, 2 of this Winston pack. Notice I've got the use trigger list set for 2. So let's see how that functions. I'm going to first sell the Winston pack. Let's say that I, as the cashier, and the customer has no idea of this promotion. I will subtotal this out, and then I'm going to get a notification. The cashier gets a notification of what they should say, and on the customer-facing display, there's an advertisement that's pushed to the customer. So even if the cashier says nothing, the customer is going to be aware of this promotion. Of course, if the customer or the cashier doesn't know these promotions, how are they going to take advantage of that? This is a way to increase sales. So I'm going to choose, basically what the cashier chooses here is winning. They would, of course, win that additional sale. They would then scan the additional items, and lose, their customer would decline that. Now, you can technically still lose and add the items to the transaction, and it would still count as a win for the cashier. And the same goes for if you choose the win button and you don't add those additional items to the transaction, that's going to count as a loss. That's really just a notification, a yes or no option for the cashier, but at the end of the day, it's going to matter what's truly tied to the transaction. And then, of course, you can run reports on your cashiers to see how well they're performing. Do they have more wins? Do they have more losses? And then you can compare that to see your system discounts or your loyalty campaign sales and see if you're actually increasing your sales by utilizing these notifications. So Uplifts is once again a fantastic tool to make sure that everybody knows all the sales, promotions, or campaigns that are occurring. All right, so I hope everybody learned something today. Once again, these webinars, they are every Friday at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. You can see these if you go to our website, goftx.com, choose the FTX Lifeline tab, go to the webinar link, and then you'll see a list of all of our upcoming webinars, previous webinars with recordings, and a way to sign up for the newsletter. If you have any feedback for this webinar, let us know at websupport@fasttrackspos.com, or if you have any suggestions for upcoming webinars, let us know at info@goftx.com. Thank you and have a great weekend.